Conversation mastery is something that many guys strive for. Mastery in anything is something that takes time, effort, and persistence. However, the neat thing about mastering this skill is that you can make huge progress along the way and quickly enjoy the fruits of your labor. The ability to talk to anyone, including hot girls, is such an important skill to have. And the sooner that you start making progress, the faster your life will change forever. Step number 1, how to start the conversation. It doesn't matter who you're talking to or where you're at. All conversations start with either a question, a statement, or a statement with a question attached to it. Starting a conversation is as simple as asking a question or making a statement about something. The most important thing that all guys need to understand is how guys talk and how girls talk. This concept is so simple, yet rarely understood by most guys. Once you understand it, you'll be able to keep a conversation going face to face and over text with any girl for as long as you want. Here it is. Conversation between guys is closed. Conversation between girls is open-ended. Imagine you just picked up your bro from his house. He says, "What's up, man?" You say, "Not much. Just got this new Lamborghini here." He says, "Oh, nice." You say, "Yeah, it's crazy fast." That's it. Guys are simple, so our conversations also tend to be simple. Girls, on the other hand, are much different. When a girl says something, it's almost always an open-ended statement. In other words, everything a girl says to another girl is like a little bridge that leads to another part of the conversation. For example, girls can talk for hours because they are literally programmed to keep a conversation going. The mistake that most guys make when talking to girls is forgetting that they're not guys, so they answer with closed statements. Imagine you're with a girl and she tells you that she just got her nails painted. As a guy, this quickly sets off your boring alarm, and you'll probably respond with something like, "That's cool," or some other closed statement. This is one of the best ways to end the conversation. If a girl says the same thing to a girl, the other girl will use the statement about the nails as a hook and say something about her nails, which leads to talking about where they got them done and a million other things that guys naturally don't care about. One of the major keys to conversation mastery is using everything someone says to you as a bridge. In other words, start practicing using everything someone says to you as a little bridge that allows you to add to the conversation. If you have a girlfriend, try this, and I promise you things will change so fast it will make your head spin. The next time your girlfriend starts talking about something that you have zero interest in, never reply to anything she says with a conversation killer, which is basically a 1 or 2 word answer. Something that most guys don't understand is that a girl's brain is hardwired to release dopamine when they talk to people, which means they literally get high off of talking. Now you know the secret to why girls never seem to stop talking. It's literally like a drug for them. To recap, start a conversation with a statement or a statement with a question attached, and realize that if you want to master conversation, use every single thing that someone says to you as a little bridge to say something else that will keep the conversation flowing. Step number 2 for talking to girls is opening her up. You can easily tell when a girl is locked down after you start talking to her if she replies with 1 or 2 word answers. Since this is exactly how a guy would talk, her 1 word answers will quickly kill the conversation if you don't open her up. Now, the easiest way to open her up is to make long statements and then tack a question onto them. If she doesn't start to open up after a few questions, then it's time to move on. Step number 3 is getting to know her better. If you've made it this far into the conversation, the girl is looking at you and listening to you, and she's not making any excuses to try and get away. At this point, you should playfully ask questions and find out more about her. Becoming a master conversationalist is truly like having a key to all of the riches in the world. You've always had the key, but you just lost it for a while. Now you're about to get it back. For true, unstoppable conversation mastery, you need to understand the basics. So many guys get this wrong because they never learned or were never told the fundamentals of conversation. The first thing to understand is voice. During a conversation, your voice tonality, speech rate, and volume are so important. The moment that you start talking to a girl and words flow out of your mouth, A girl will make an almost instantaneous judgment about you using her natural, intuitive ability to read people. It doesn't matter what you have to say. If it doesn't come out the right way, the little alarm inside her head is going to go off and things probably won't work out the way that you want. So you're probably asking yourself, what exactly is the girl looking for when reading your voice? The main thing that the girl is checking for is signs that you think that she's out of your league. You see, girls are very good at reading body language for nervous habits and insecurity. She's not actually sitting there thinking to herself, I really need to check this guy for insecurities and see if he thinks I'm out of his league. But subconsciously, she's getting a feel for you to see if you're trying too hard. When it comes to voice tonality, talking too quietly or softly comes off as insecure, and it shows that you're too afraid to speak up, which means you don't value your own opinion, which means you're probably not very confident. It's funny how something as simple as talking too softly can instantly show the world that you lack confidence. These are the tiny details that girls are naturally good at reading. Another fundamental part of mastering conversation is speech rate, which is how fast or slow you talk. When they're nervous, most guys speak much faster than normal. And to fix this problem, you must consciously slow your voice and keep it at a normal rate until it becomes a subconscious habit. Many guys will tell you to practice artificially lowering your voice to a much deeper level than what feels natural. But this is actually bad advice because it will damage your vocal cords over time. The best thing that you can do is to make sure that you talk in the deepest voice that feels natural. For most guys, this is the tone of voice that you have when you first wake up in the morning. The second fundamental part of conversation mastery is removing filler words from your speech. If you're younger, this can be a bit more difficult because you're prone to saying words like and like much more often than older people. By removing filler words, your speech will sound purposeful and direct, and it will help you to build sexual tension when talking to girls. The best way to remove filler words is to become comfortable with the pause. Using a pause instead of filler words is actually a great tool for building positive tension with a girl, so don't be afraid to use it. Talking to girls and becoming a master conversationalist isn't rocket science, and there are some simple, insanely effective tips that you can use as shortcuts to mastery. Tip number 1, keep the conversation on the girl. As mentioned earlier, most girls love talking about themselves. In most cases, you can easily keep the conversation flowing by keeping the focus on the girl. And while she's talking about herself, she will begin to feel a stronger connection with you. Tip number 2 is keeping the conversation emotional. To escalate your conversation with a girl, understand that she wants to talk about things she feels strongly about. Always remember that girls are basically like an untamed ocean. They're like 95% emotions and 5% logic. Basically, all girls think primarily with their emotions and secondly with their logic. If you're not trying to escalate the attraction with a girl, by all means, talk about the weather and stuff like that. But to build attraction, get her to talk about things that she feels strongly about. Conversation mastery is something that all guys should strive for. And as you progress and develop this skill, you will find your life changing in ways that you never could have dreamed of. I've mentioned in other videos that everything you could ever want in life is already owned by someone else. And all that you have to do to get it is to convince them to give it to you. The ability to start and keep a conversation flowing allows you to convince other people to give you their money for your products. It allows you to effortlessly meet and build connections with high-level inner circles, and it will dramatically improve your ability to create attraction with girls. With that said, thank you guys so much for the support, and until next time, thanks for watching.